record. Let me share my screen.
Perfect.
Okay, perfect. All
Wonderful.
right.
Hey, everyone. Welcome to the Team Relentless Squad and Tenaciously Fierce team call. Mindy and I decided that we really wanted to work together and collaborate and roll this out for you guys. This is not something that her and I came up with. Actually, Milan Jensen, who is the #1 coach that is in the network, like she just celebrated her 11-year anniversary. She shared this with me at NorCal Elevated. And I was sharing with Mindy, I feel like I didn't really get to absorb it because I was hosting the event. And so she rolled it out to a leadership group for us where we really loved the concept. And we started talking that we wanted to introduce this to you guys because this is the direction, this is the future. You guys all know, most of you have been in the business for quite some time. Maybe some of you, a few of you are new, but the business has changed. And the way that I think about it is just like Blockbuster Video, it changed back in, I don't know, 2005 or whatever. But they never kept up with the changes that were going. And by the time that they did, it was too late. And so what I love about Carl and John and Michael and Jeff is that they're constantly innovative and they're always getting in front of things, and they have these incredible leaders who make up our network who are also doing the same exact thing. So we are in a year in transition. I don't think that's news to any of us, and we all know that, you know, there has been some changes, and I think that for so long we've been so focused on Success Club, Elite, Premier, all of these big shiny objects that we've really gotten away, and I'm talking as a whole, not specifically to our team, but I think we've gotten away from the heart of what we do, and that's serving people. And some people may think it's unfair that we've moved to BOD. Some people might absolutely love it, but the reality of it, it has changed things. When programs like Shift Shop comes out, we're not getting that huge amount of volume lump sum that we used to that would give us those huge volume spikes. But the good news is that long term, that's going to help us. But it is going to take some time for us to get in front of it. There are other things coming. And those of you who are getting on these calls, who are showing up, who are consistently serving your customers and clients and team and, you know, asking us for support on how can we get better, you're going to see that transition and how it continues to grow. And so what we're rolling out tonight is the direction that we're taking our teams, and I know a lot of other leaders in the company are doing as well. But Milan came up with this. Her and Kevin have built an extremely successful team over the past 11 years. I mean, she has people like Tracy Merrow on her team, like major success. And we're going to take you through the slides and give you guys questions. This is new for us as well, so we're all kind of learning together. But this really is the focus, guys, and I hope that it makes a lot of sense to you. So, Mindy, you want to take this one?
Yeah, so some of you may or may not know, and if you do know, just whatever. But if you don't know, you need to know that our company was not built to make money for coaches. It was not a network marketing company. And this is why I feel so strongly about what I do, is that Carl's story is that he dreamt of being in the movie business. Well, failed attempt after failed attempt, it didn't work for him. But you know what? He's the type of guy that when he gets knocked down, he keeps getting up. And so one of the reasons why we have, you know, the best infomercials out there is because he has that passion for that, and he has a vision, and he has a passion for helping people. So him and John Congdon started, it was the $1 Million Body, I think is what it's called. I can't really remember exactly for sure, but they started this, and then they were selling programs, and then they started noticing that, I can't remember, he told us the numbers the other day, but like for every 10 programs that were sold, I think like 2 people actually opened it. And then out of those, you know, people that completed, most of the people weren't completing it. And so most companies wouldn't care. They would just be like, sell, 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 sell. They didn't care. But the thing was, they wanted to help people. They wanted the product to work because they were the very first success stories. And so that's when they started really taking notice. And this is something that they still do. They are always watching what the customers are doing, what's happening, and then that's how our company is moving forward. So when coaches badmouth, like, I don't understand why they're doing this and they should have done this, I hear this from coaches old and young, that this is something that they're observing from a bird's eye view of customers and serving the needs. And so we have to get on the same level. We have to be thinking, forward. And so back then, I don't know if you remember, I remember that in the early 2000s, message boards were the thing. Chat rooms were the thing. Well, people were chatting, they were connecting, and then there was people out there that were cheerleading, being what we do is helping people out, coaching them through it. And Milan was a very successful business person. And so she was approached, not because she was the leader of the message board, but she was approached. And guess what? She was approached repeatedly and kept saying no. Just like some of us told our sponsor no, and we hear no all the time. But she finally saw the vision. She saw the passion. She found the belief that she still has as coach number one, who's still in this business 10 years later. And so that once they saw that this could, really take off and their programs would work and people would keep coming back, was because of the support. And so that's why we are fitness, and then we had support, and then we brought in Shakeology, because when Milan started, there was no Shakeology. Well, this is something that has evolved. And so the coach network was totally designed to help the customers. I'm sure you're appreciative of it, because all of us started off as customers. And so when coaches, I've heard it, and I'm just going to be honest, I've heard coaches badmouth the compensation plan, the changes with Beachbody On Demand coming and affecting, pay. The thing is, this business was never built to make us rich. This business was never meant to make us successful in the business. This business was made to help us get results and to live healthier, more fit lives. And that's what we need to get back to and focus on. And that is how it came into play. And we have a space within the company and on this mission. It's just going to change as the years evolve. But I wanted you to just know that this coach network, this business, was not founded on the basis of let's start an MLM and get rich quick and all the things about pyramid scheming. This really started our spot in this company evolved because somebody had a dream and they wanted to help people. And if you follow Carl, if you follow the trends, if you get on the national wake up calls, if you get on the surges, if you show up to Super Saturdays, if you show up to Summit, you will see that his heart is 100% in it. And this is something you will want to ride out because big things are coming in store. So that's just my soapbox about the journey as a company and why I'm so invested in this. And you really have to show up for events and show up for calls to actually see that, because what you see coming from our mouths or just little bits and pieces, you're not really going to get the full picture. Can everybody see that now? Melissa, can you see this?
Yes. So we are going to go over the next slide, guys, which really is an explanation of what a 500 PV coach is. And for those of you who are scratching your heads, or maybe somebody listening later, PV equals personal volume. That is volume that's created through your customers and your personal orders. And so the heart and the life of your entire organization is built on this. And I promise you, if you start implementing this now and rolling this to your teams, and I'll share with you at the end what our intentions are on that, you're really going to adapt that. But if you think about other companies like Mary Kay or It Works Wraps or any of those other, multi-level marketing companies, you have a quota that you have to hit, right? And so we have benchmarks that help people see where their success is. And so building 500 PV consistently every single month, not weekly, is really the benchmark that you should be shooting for. And I truly feel, and I think Mindy will back me on this, that when you're focused on that, your Success Club points will follow, your rank will follow, your income will grow. So a 500 PV coach is somebody that lives the 4 vital behaviors. They are very consistent. They are not somebody who's stopping and starting and taking a week off and then jumping back on. They are showing up every single day to their business. They are doing, inviting consistently. They are have their nutrition and their workouts consistently. They're drinking their Shakeology. They're constantly working on themselves, personal development. They're shouting out their teammates and their challengers and their peers and giving that recognition. They are someone who learns to invite. So this is somebody who is asking questions. They are inviting people constantly, and it's becoming an art for them, right? So they're saying to their friends, their family, the person in the supermarket, their doctor, their pediatrician, hey, I'm doing this, I want you to join me. They are also someone who learns how to ask questions. How have you been? How's your nutrition? How's your health? How is this working for you? I see you're going to CrossFit 3 times a week. What's your nutrition looks like? Can I help you with that? So really asking questions is a huge, huge, huge part of getting to this. They know how to find, hold on, I gotta move this. I can't see anything. Okay. They know how to find the healthy formula. So they know that it takes exercise, nutrition, and support. So that is going to be inviting people into the challenge groups, helping them get the results, pairing them with a plan that works for them, and constantly encouraging them, not just signing them up saying thanks for my success club points and then expecting them to do it on their way. So really they're having a place that is fostering the support of an accountability challenge group. And they nurture their contacts and customers. And I think I kind of just covered that, but that is really making sure that they have that constant conversation. And that doesn't mean that you have to check in on people every single day, guys. That's just saying that you haven't left anyone behind. I know that when I was following Mindy for 13 months and I was put into a Beachbody Boys and Girls accountability group, I knew that I had support because of that group. I knew that no matter if I fell off one week of my, my insanity disc, I was going to be able to post the next week, hey, I had a bad week. Does anybody have any ideas for recipes? And I also knew that Mindy was always going to respond because she maintained that connection with me, and I never felt alone. And that is the culture that I hope that we're all fostering in our groups. And a 500 TV coach is somebody who is confident in the products and the company. So guys, they have a strong belief in what they do. They stand behind our mission, they understand the goal, and they are not going and saying, okay, here's the next best thing. I'm going to try this next quick fix because I haven't been consistent in my nutrition and I'm not getting the results that I want. They're not saying that, Carl's making these changes and everybody's trying something else and they're going to go somewhere else. They are confident in what we are doing, the products that we serve, and they just value what we do.
I'm trying to get it to go. Okay. So the concept is U+2. And I will say that, what Melissa said in the beginning, that as our organization grew, focus, changed. And, we've been talking in the group that Becky and I are running about goals. And so many people focus on big goals, and it's great to know what you want to do 5 years down the line, a year down the line, whatever. But you really need to focus on breaking down the big goals into chunks and not getting ahead of yourself. When I first started as a coach, the first training that I was in was something that was brought to us by Jason Diebold, who's our upline. And it was basically this concept, U+2. It was an Emerald boot camp. And it's pretty cool if you're part of the Find Your Why tribe, where we're all reading the Simon Sinek book. It kind of started off like that. We were all in a group, and the main objective was to get to Emerald and to help people learn to duplicate the same thing. Because yes, you can want to be diamond, but if you're just a brand new coach or you sign one coach, diamond seems really far off. But if you focus on getting to Emerald and you teach your people underneath you how to get to Emerald, then over time you're going to naturally help a lot of people. You're naturally going to bring in an income that shows how many people you're helping. You're naturally going to advance in rank. You're naturally going to build some stability within your business. And so this is the cornerstone of how you build your team. Because when you just start off, it's just you. But when you bring on 2 people, that's when the magic starts to happen. That's when a team starts to form. That's when you have running buddies in this business. And, Melissa and I both hit Emerald within our first month. So whether you've been a coach for a while and you just decide now you're going to make this shift to the U+2, then you can do it in a month. You can do it in less. And so it's very simple. Get to Emerald and then help them your people get to Emerald. And really, this is something that I've seen in my coaching career, and it's been reinforced. If you've done Shift Shop, Chris's main tagline is "Let's get better together." That we are not designed to do this alone. That is why, as coaches, as in challenge groups, as running teams, that's why we're so successful. Is you need to have a team mindset. You also need to be able to work independently, but we can do so much together, and we can have such a bigger impact and ripple effect when we work together as a team. And so your next goal is to really focus on building an Emerald tribe, which we're going to get to, but that's basically building a 4 generation. And I hope that you guys understand what Emerald is. If not, then please get with one of us so we can help you figure out how Emerald works and what 4 levels down mean. You there, Melissa?
Yeah, I just had to move my screen over. Okay, so like Mindy said, focusing on building emeralds, we're actually wanting to build. Oh, are we on the wrong slide?
No, I accidentally hit the button. Go ahead.
Okay. We are building generations of that. So that means that we are going to go to get all of the coaches who are getting to Emerald. We're helping them build that 500. I got to go to the other room. Sorry, guys. Everyone's walking in the house. We're helping them get to that 500 PV customer base. And then when you do that, you are teaching your personally sponsored coaches, and then they're going to teach their personally sponsored coaches. And then everybody is going to be building emeralds upon emeralds upon emeralds, which gets you to that 4 levels deep, which gets larger team cycle bonuses. Because guys, the thing is, you could retail all day long and you could earn a decent amount of money. I know that I retailed for quite a while before. I mean, like Mindy said, I hit Emerald in my first month, but I wasn't having big cycle bonuses because I was still trying to understand, left leg, right leg, placement, this, that. And it does take some time to go from $14, $28, whatever that cycle is. But if you're truly in this business to grow a healthy business, you want to be building emeralds levels deep and building those generations.
And really, when you think about it, I when you hear duplication and leading, I know that it paralyzes a lot of people. Like, I'm not a leader, I can't do it. But really, think about it. You as a parent, you're teaching your children to brush your teeth, read, write, ride a bike, be kind, all these things. You're teaching them by telling them what to do, by showing them in actions, by reinforcing them as they're doing it. And then they're going to take from that and they're going to duplicate it when they become parents. And so basically what we're doing is essentially, this is a family. You are going to emulate some certain behaviors that other people are going to watch. You have to do something that's duplicatable so that somebody can follow in your steps. What Becky did was so clear that I just followed her lead. Melissa watched me for 13 months, and what she had watched Becky and I do, it was so clear that she was able to follow the lead too. She was able to understand what we were doing. So this is a visual. I did post it in the group, so you can actually grab this, save it with your phone, look at it. But this is really what a 500 PV Emerald tribe is. You're going to the top one is you, where it says 500. Your goal is going to be to have 500 personal volume points per month. And you're going to sponsor 2 coaches. As you see, the little 2 top green guys are your left leg coach, your right leg coach. You want to help them also understand how important it is for retail, for helping people and really exposing people to everything that we have to offer, and help them set a goal for 500 PV every month. What you may not know is that other network marketing companies, in order to achieve a rank, you have to meet a quota. You have to have a certain amount of personal volume points, and actually we don't. That is not required. But so when you do this, as you can see, your first two coaches, once they sponsor coaches that are 50 or 500 PV coaches, and then they sponsor it, then as you can see, you're going to have a team that is starting to get solid. So if you look at it, if you have 15 coaches total on your team, they do not have to all be sponsored by you. They can be sponsored by your personally sponsored coaches for 4, 5, 6, however many levels deep. And another thing is we're the only network marketing company that pays you no matter how many levels deep. That means that you could have like 15 coaches underneath you that sign another coach, and you're still going to earn income off of that person's volume, whereas other network marketing companies, like most of them, you'll only earn 2 levels deep. So you can build a big old team, but it's not really going to do you any good. But if you have 15 coaches and they're all at the 500 PV mark, that means you're going to be as a team bringing in 3,500 PV on each leg. And so I hope that you guys understand the cycle bonuses. If not, there's a really cool, funny video from Michael Neiman about it. But that is going to translate into you cycling. And as you can see, the U+2, U+6, U+12, these are the cycle bonuses that you would earn. And something that Joe Cardone from corporate said the other day when he was at the Super Saturday that I attended in Dallas is that a lot of coaches have a goal of earning a 6-figure income, and you really need to understand reverse engineering, the logistics, the business side of this. But he shared that if you had at a diamond level and you had enough coaches and you earned 111 cycles per week, that alone would be 6 figures. And I did calculate it'd be $103,896 annually. And so this is something that once you can understand how this works and how building a team, teaching people about retail, about the products, that this can ultimately bring in quite a bit of income. I mean, if you look at just 15 coaches, look at the income you could bring in. Are you there, Melissa?
Yeah. Okay. So Diamond Strong. So this is essentially your diamond plan. And it's your 500 PV Emerald Tribe. And so we're going to refer to it as Diamond Strong. So a classic diamond, guys, they normally get their 90 PV and their cycle bonus is going to be $54, right? Classic diamond plan with 500 PV is going to get $485. So that is going to be a huge difference. So that's you yourself getting that. Go out, baby. That's you yourself getting that 500 PV. Now, if you're able to build a 500 Diamond Strong team, so that's you helping your 4 levels down get that, get the 500 PV down. And remember, we talked about getting emeralds, right? We're not talking about diamonds. Besides you might be a diamond. But you are going to look at how significant jump in that, guys. That's $3,725. That's a huge go right now. That's a significant jump. And so if you can just pause for a second, because I know we're talking a lot of numbers, and I can tell you when I first joined, if I would have got on a call like this, I would probably be intimidated by all of these numbers. But it's so simple. It is so simple. If you are focused on helping people get to 500 PV and getting to that emerald, it is going to be easy, right? And like I said, then the Success Club and the rank is going to follow. So that is truly where you just want to lean in. And when you have somebody joining you, this is the model that you want to be teaching every single person that joins you.
So this is a diagram of what we're talking about the classic diamond coach. So that means this is usually what happens. Somebody is like, I want to build this business, I want to get to diamond, and they're just focused on just getting coaches in there, and there's nothing wrong with that. I did that. But those coaches a lot of times are just what we call discount coaches, which I really want to get away from calling them that and labeling and identifying them, putting them in that bucket. But a lot of times people get to diamond and they just have these people who are just placeholders at the time, and all of them are just discount coaches. They're just getting their Shakeology. So when that happens, you can earn cycle bonuses, but it's $54. And that's why we really need to focus on helping people find their belief in this business, find their why of why they want to help people, find their why of what they want to accomplish in life, find their, what their limiting belief is so they step out of it. Because if not, a lot of people can have this great goal of getting to diamond and they get there and they're like, well, what's so great about this? I get a t-shirt, I get recognized by my team, I might get put in a group, but I'm making $54 a month. Like, what was the point of that? So when you focus on that, yes, you want to get to diamond because your cycle bonuses that you're earning are going to go from $14 if you're an emerald to $16 if you're ruby to $18 if you're a diamond. So there is a reason for that, but you want to make sure that you're building volume, because as you can see here, yeah, you're a diamond, but you're only making $54 a month, and then you're really having to focus on only bringing in money from retail. And so this is why we're wanting to map this out, so you see that, $54, I remember making $54 and being excited. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you're wanting to grow, then you're going to need to help your team duplicate it. And instead of getting ahead of yourself thinking like, oh my God, I got to get 8 people to emerald, just focus on getting 2 people to emerald and teaching them to get 2 people to emerald, and the rest will follow.
Sorry, I keep getting stuck. Okay, so 500 PV and diamond coach. So this is essentially the same thing, guys. So you are the yellow up at the top, the 500, and then these are your coaches on both sides of your legs. So if you're creating 500 coach, 4 levels down, and then they're duplicating that 500 and creating those emeralds, you're going to see, again, how your volume is going to grow. Volume equals money. So it's going to be a drastic jump.
So this is the Diamond Strong with the Emerald Tribe. And as you can see, I honestly don't want to get so far into this right now because I know that we're talking big numbers. And I said, let's focus small. But I'm just wanting to show you each slide. And we're really wanting to show you how over time this can build. And this is something that I've done. I started off making $14 cycle bonuses, and the next thing I know, they were over $1,000. I mean, I've seen what other people in the networks, how it's grown. Where I know that Becky had shared a long time ago how the first year or two of her business, it was all retail. All of her income came from retail. Then it started to shift where she was bringing in about, even money from the cycle bonuses from her team as well as retail. Then it got to be where she was still retailing because she's still growing her business. She's still helping people where there was still new products coming. But what she was earning in cycle bonuses was way over and above what she was doing for retail. And so that's something you want to have so that there's some, a solid business, and so that you do see the growth. Because yes, you can see a growth in retail, but you're going to see more of a growth in your cycle bonuses as you're growing a strong team who are duplicating what you're sharing with them.
Okay, so the 500 PV mindset. So meet customers where they are. Goal number 1, guys, we want to create raving customers. When I had a one-on-one with Milan a couple weeks ago, that was the number one thing that she kept talking about, was that she's constantly, their main goal and mission is to create raving customers. How do we do that? We're getting them the results, right? They made a purchase for their programs for a reason. So whether you call them raving customers or product or the product, whatever you do, that is your number 1 goal. Goal number 2 is to create customers who influence. So in your challenge group, if you listen to the National Wake Up Call, I took a few of the things that were on there the other day, and it was, take your team page or a picture of your team and make it your top thing. Talk about the coaching opportunity in there. So you are influencing your coaches. Encourage them. If you put a challenge out there, say, that was a really great transformation. I encourage you to go post that on your team or on your personal page, because you're then helping them already create the coaching mentality. Number 2 is create revenue per customer. So, or goal number 3, create revenue per customer. So each customer, you want to continue to grow that revenue. Introduce them to different products. Let them know that we have a skincare line. That's something that we totally miss. We are referring people to Rodan and Fields, right? Or other MLMs that have skincare line when we have a top of the line skincare company. So it's introducing things like that into your groups. Talking to people about a performance line. When you have people who say, I already go to CrossFit. Okay, great. Let's talk about your supplements that you're using. Introduce them to the product line. Basically, what we're wanting to do is introduce them to Beachbody's healthy formula solution. We have a solution for everything. We create fitness that's fun. We have nutrition that's simple and a coach opportunity for supports and results. I also encourage you to start introducing maybe some of your sneak stuff, if you're doing that, into your accountability groups. That's something I've been doing, because people they see what we do and they want to overcomplicate it when they don't sometimes stop to think, or we don't share with them as often as we should. Is we all started as challengers. We started in the same position. I know when I signed up 3.5 years ago, almost 4 years ago, my intention wasn't to grow, a successful business. It was really to take care of myself, and I was obsessed with the community that I saw for 13 months. But there's so many people who you're friending. Say Charlie adds 5 friends next week. Guess what? Get them into some sort of group where they can see what you're doing already and having those conversations, and let them know they're just like you, and teach them those behaviors.
So that's something that, I want to piggyback on what Melissa was saying, is that so many people, and I've been guilty of this before, is that we're so focused on Success Club that we are like, okay, we're going to help this many people, and we have these conversations, and then they finally say yes, and we get them all set up. Like, here's how you, make your Shakeology. Here's how you log into Beachbody Demand. Here is your, a challenge group. I hope you're all running challenge groups, because that's where the magic happens. But then we're like, okay, and we always tell them, oh yeah, if you don't want to stay in Shakeology, you can cancel it. Because when we're so focused on who we're going to have the next month, that we're not really taking time to really focus and really help the people getting started. And that's the one thing, is that when Becky first got started, she was starting off slow. And I have sat back and thought, where's my disconnect now? Like, where is my disconnect now? I'm like, oh, in the beginning, my business was small. I was just working with a handful of people. I didn't really understand that Success Club didn't become an addiction. It didn't become like a competition within myself to beat. I wasn't worried about any titles. I was just out there helping people. So whenever I helped somebody, I was giving them my all. I was, building even deeper relationships with them. I was like Carl and John. I wanted them to have success. Well, then as time has went by, we're focused on where the next Success Club points are going to come from in the next month. And that is something that I want us to shift our mind from as a team. This slide here, Melissa really talked about in the beginning about asking good questions. This is something that, there's documents in the Coach Online office about really how to, interview your prospective coaches, but you really need to dig deep and ask questions that don't just get you a yes or a no, that you really care, that you're really trying to understand what's working for them so that you can help them be successful. I have been intertwining personal development into my challenge groups, as well as I know Melissa is, because and Charlie is too. I know that because we're wanting to help people, because we know that our people don't get fat and people don't get unhealthy because everything's wonderful in their world. They're trying to fill a void. They're trying to stuff down and numb some emotions. So personal development is where it's at. So when you can intertwine that, with short little YouTube videos or you sharing what you learned from your personal development, then that's going to help them make the mindset shift, which is going to make them feel worthy enough to spend money on themselves for Shakeology, to push play when they've had a bad day. And so this is something that's really important.
So idea number 2, the challenge pack, our best solution is the best results. Right now, guys, we have the all access pass. It's literally a no-brainer. If I was you, I would be reaching out to every single person that you can in the next 3 days and having conversations, because it is going to increase, right? It is going to go up. So what I did the other day was I went back to December because I had a lot of conversations in December with those people who are wanting to, were wanting to jump on the bandwagon. And I started sending up dozens upon dozens of follow-ups. But really this slide just takes you through, it tells you exactly what the PV is for it, what the team TV is, which is essentially what you're getting, the residual, which means that their Shakeology if it's on HD, and then the residual customer revenue is $32. So this is the number that counts towards your 500 PV. So if you have 6 customers on this, with the residual income with their 90, that's going to get you your 500 essentially.
So this is something that I guess what I really am wanting to push you guys to do, because you guys already know what we just talked about the challenge pack is the best solution. But something that I want to commend Charlie on is that he's been really working hard with building relationships with people, finding out what their pain points are, finding out what is going to work for them, and helping them really get to know him. Because when you know him, you know that he is fired up about this. Even 5.5 years later, he is full trust and passion in this business. But he, Success Club is on his goal, as it should be for any coach wanting to build a business. But he also knows that everybody is ready to jump in like we are, because we many of us are years deep into this. So I know that not everybody values themselves and they don't want to spend $160. I know I didn't want to spend money when I started either. So he's been working with people and he's been giving them an alternative so that when they don't say, yes, sign me up with that challenge pack, that sounds awesome, I just want to do everything, then he still has an alternative, because this is a mistake that I have made as well. Here's the challenge pack, my challenge group is already here, here's all the great information, we're getting close, but then it's like, then they say, well, I can't because of one reason or another. They don't want to spend the money on themselves, they don't think they deserve it, they don't have the money, and instead, I have known their goals, and then I'm like, okay, well then I'll check back with you next month. Well, why do that? When you know what their goals are, when your goal is to help people get results, then find an alternative for them. If they're sitting there where they're like, I feel a little leery, then get them started on a Shakeology sampler pack. Get them started on, if they can't afford a challenge pack, get them started with a year subscription of Beachbody On Demand, or something that is an alternative to a challenge pack that will get their foot in the door. Because so many people, Leslie Wood's a prime example, she owned like every Beachbody program and product before she became a coach. Then she went to Melissa, was like, I want to become a coach, and then she started Shakeology. So there are people out there who had great results, found passion for fitness, understand why coaching is great, that never touched Shakeology. Remember, Milan was #1 coach, and Shakeology didn't exist then. So yes, Shakeology is great, and the challenge packs just started right around when I became a coach, I think at the end of 2011. So now we have so many items and so many things that literally can offer solutions for everything. I posted a document a couple weeks ago in the Relentless Squad group about this checklist of, if you have people that are suffering from this or this or this, here's a product that will fix it. So you can go back and search that, or I can share it if you want. But this is a way here, and this is what I want you to do. I want you to reach out to your closest friends, to your family, to your coworkers, to people who said no to you in the past, to new people that you're building relationships with, and let them know about our products. Ask them questions, because I hear people be like, oh, those CrossFit people, F them, like, I do Beachbody, and that's great. I want you to be loyal to Beachbody. But that doesn't mean we still can't help them with the performance line. Doesn't mean that they have great nutrition, and so we can help them with the portion fix. I think, is it the portion fix? I don't remember. Yeah, I think the portion fix. We can help them if they have digestive issues with, some of the supplements that we have, some of the Shakeology boosts. Shakeology can give them the energy. They don't have to, sign up with the challenge pack. You can still help them. And a fun little fact is, Amy Silverman, who's been top 10 coach 3 or 4 times. She is, one of the higher earning coaches in this network. She was a major CrossFitter, and now she is Beachbody for life. So don't ever discount somebody just because they're not doing what you're doing now. But if you look at this now, if you were able to sell one Shakeology, to a friend, a daily sunshine to a family member for their kids, a performance stack to a fellow CrossFitter. Your mom or dad have digestive issues. You get them on the Ultimate Reset. You decide that, hey, I want my skin to look better. I forgot that they had this Derm exclusive. You get a 3-day refresh to do after the next upcoming holiday. You sell annual Beachbody On Demand thing. That you have right there, your 500 PV for the month. When you look at it, it's not that hard. People, like Melissa said, are overcomplicating things. And if I always think lead with the challenge pack, but when they say no, then offer another, option. And that's basically what people in the restaurant business do. They're always asking, like, would you like dessert? Would you like an appetizer? Here, try this. I mean, what the worst you're going to get is no. And I've been asking a lot of people about starting my challenge groups, and then it sparks a conversation with them. So don't be afraid to step out. Don't be afraid also to try these things so that you know what you're talking about as well. And so that you can be a testimony of what results they have, how it's helped you, because as we know, people can love products, they can love the logistics of it, but they're really going to get intrigued whenever they know somebody who had success with something that they can relate to.
So, 500 PV activity groups and challenge groups. So make challenge groups time sensitive. Let people know when you're making those posts, when it's going to start. Free groups, same exact thing. You want to put basically a SMART goal around these and letting people know what you're doing, when you're doing it, how much time they have. You can do things like special interest groups. So if you are somebody who loves organization, you could do a group like that. I know a lot of people are I'm not organized. So that would not be my group, but maybe you like photography or whatever it is, you could create special interest groups like that. And you can also create things like a VIP customer group, which essentially would be like your clients who stay on with you and go into, more challenges. And I would post a lot of, like I was saying, the coach opportunity and more things in that group. If you're going to do something like that, I personally like to keep everyone in the same group because, as we all know, people get overwhelmed by groups. And I think I'm working really hard on simplifying things and making it look a lot less complicated because people have busy lives anyways. So that is really making sure that you're constantly having something going on to get to that 500 PV activity.
So I wanted to give you a little snapshot, and I can post this in the group too, but this is something where you can get a good visual of what the volume is for each of these items. And this is something too, that if you have coaches that, we see this all the time, they're struggling to stay active, and this, you can do a combination of these things. I'll share with you. I have 5 different business centers, which is 3 of them are mine, 1 is Ryan's, and 1 is my stepdaughter Haley's. Well, we don't have, you have to have 50 PV in each business center to stay active. And so obviously we have our Shakeology, but I'll have to do, like I have Hydrate and Power Greens on one of the accounts so that it has the 50 PV. So you need to understand this. And if you go into your Coach Online office, and this is something that I used to always suggest to new coaches, is that you go into your Coach Online office, into My Business and My Forms and Documents, and you print out the price list. I don't suggest that now, because when I became a coach, it was literally just front and back, and now it's like 12 pages. It's probably more now, but 2 years ago it was 12 pages, and so people didn't want to print that out. But know where that is, because it tells you what we have, how much PV it is for like the 21-day fix base kit, 21-day fix deluxe kit. It gives you all of those things. That also tells you how much personal volume points each one is. It tells you how much it is for retail customer, for a coach. And so you'll have all of that there in front of you. So the thing is that as a business owner, know where your shit is, like know how to find stuff, know how to figure this out. get number oriented. I have always said, like, I'm not a big numbers person. Well, I've learned now I need to do that. I need to track my orders. I've come up with a system that I started this week to really track my orders, to really focus on how much PV I'm bringing in and really focusing on that. So I encourage you to do the same thing. If your business is just starting up, do it now. Don't wait like me 5.5 years in. But I hope that this visual has helped. But really, if you look on the left side of the screen, what I shared earlier, you can hit your 500 PV, and if you can do it easily, and when you tell yourself you can do it easily, it will easily happen. And then you can say with pure confidence to your people that they can easily do it too. And that was the one thing, is that when Becky said, do this, I just did it because I didn't know, I didn't overthink it. She never made me feel like there was an out or that it might be hard or impossible. And so I feel that many coaches lead with that. It's like, well, I'd really like you to do this. I suggest this, but here's the thing is, this can happen. You can do this. I believe in you. Do it and set it as a goal, and then help other people do it as well.
Okay, somehow I lost you guys, so bear with me. Okay, 500 PV activities, social media business. So know your target market, know who you're speaking to. For me, I know that I'm targeting moms, and I am targeting people who have chronic illnesses such as rheumatoid arthritis or Crohn's disease, basically invisible illnesses. Hot mess moms, sports moms, curiosity posting. So if you were at Summit, you heard Shalene talking to us about curiosity posting. So some people might call it vague posting, but you're wanting to get people interested in what you're doing, and then you can send those private messages. Functions as a personal website. So if you are somebody who has a personal website, you can utilize that. I personally use Instagram and my personal page. I'm creating a blog, but utilize those to share what you're offering. Use simple ways to connect. If you are not utilizing the Instagram stories or the Facebook stories or something like Snapchat, I encourage you to try it. For me, it is definitely something outside of my comfort zone, but it's something that I have been really working on over the past few days. And here's why. So I'm a heavy poster. Like, I could literally post probably 11 times in a day. And for some people, that's like way too much. But now for somebody like me who likes to share all of their stuff, I can use those stories instead of annoying my news feed and going past that. So if my encouragement to you guys is, if you're not learning something new in the social media world, go and do that, because those are simple ways to connect. Because when you do those stories, then you can see like who's viewed your post. And you can go and say, hey, Charlie, I seen you on checking out my Instagram stories. Are you on a health and fitness journey too? That's an easy way to start a conversation. Yeah, so basically those are simple tools that allow you to provide value. If you're not somebody who's gone live, I would encourage you to start going live a couple times a week, because that really attracts your audience as well. And something I learned, this isn't a part of the slide, but with the Instagram stories or Facebook stories, you guys might already know this. I did not, but when you're doing your picture or your video, the more that you use those little options that they have, like the time stamp or the location or the little hearts or the weird faces, that will push your stuff up more, which means you'll show up in more people's news feeds or stories and push you to the top. So
that's one thing that when Snapchat came out, I was like, why? Like, what is the big deal about Snapchat? And then I realized that people are always multitasking. I was on this webinar the other day where they said that the average person refreshes their Facebook feed 11 times a day. I'm like, well, I know that I do more than that, but people are busy. They're multitasking, and the world is a lot different now in 2017, the end of 2017, than it was when I first became a coach. Like, people are busy. They have a lot of stuff in their mind. They overbook themselves. They overextenuate themselves. And people go to Facebook for like a mental like vacation. And some people who've been following you, who vibe well with you, who've been able to relate to some part of your story, are invested into your life, they'll read long posts. And I'm a long poster like Melissa, and I'm somebody who will post a million times a day. But your average person is getting on to just numb their brain out. They want to see some dumb shit. Like they literally do. They want to share stupid videos. They want to share stupid, memes. And now the Facebook stories are a way for them to still be able to have that voyeurism of the, people love to watch other people's life, so they can do it, but they don't have to read. They can just literally like tap, 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 and read your story. And then when they connect with you, then they'll go to your page, and that's how you build a relationship. And the stories help you connect with other people. And on Instagram, you can hashtag it to whatever, and you can find new people. So I'm getting more followers on Instagram just off of my stories. And then I can keep my Instagram, where if you look at my Instagram, it actually kind of looks pretty. It's like the colors are the same, the scheme is the same, but then all my, stuff throughout the day that aren't really, sobriety related or health or fitness related are in my story, so they can still see that I'm a human being, not just a, fitness person. So definitely use that, because I do know as well from this webinar that I was on, that when you're using the things that are part of Facebook that are being rolled out, then Facebook's like, oh, these people like us. They like our what we're giving them. And so then they'll bump you up onto the newsfeed. And I also want to share something I learned as well. Don't share links. Don't share links. Like if you're going to have a YouTube video, download that video and just upload the video to your YouTube. Don't have any outbound links to your forms. And the thing is, people will be like, well, coach just said, do a form. That was like literally 2015. Having a form is great to send to somebody, but posting it on your page is not cool anymore. Even posting YouTube videos, that will keep you forced down in the news feed. So these are just things that like you're gonna have to learn about social media. You're gonna have to get on webinars. You're gonna have to, get into free trainings. You're gonna have to Google stuff, because the way things worked before don't always work, and it's only changing even faster. The algorithm is changing, and the Facebook is kind of like Carl, that they are constantly surveying the users on Facebook, and there are like billions of people on there, and asking what they want, and they're tired of seeing ads. And again, things have changed, because when I became a coach, there wasn't a lot of network marketing. People thought it was weird what I was doing. Now every time I turn around, somebody's signing up for something that is network marketing, and people don't have the right skills, where they just spam everybody's newsfeed. People are getting tired of that. So Facebook is helping it so that Facebook is a fun experience for its users. So if you're posting anything that looks like I'm giving a giveaway, I'm doing this or that, sign up with me, buy from me, and you're not doing it from a paid ad, you're not going to be shown on the newsfeed. And I don't want that for you to have that to happen. I don't want that to happen to you, because if you're sharing some truth, some vulnerability, and you're not getting any views, a lot of people take it as that nobody cares. And really, it might just be that you're not utilizing Facebook the way it should be. We've already went through this, that, you want to have customers that are influence. I was one of those people. Becky checked in with me. I was in a challenge group. I was excited. I started sharing it publicly. Then I started influencing people. And then that's how I fell into the coaching opportunity. Same thing. We've already discussed this, reaching outside of the challenge pack, and really, sharing more about what our mission is as a coach, as a team, as a company. That way people can grow their faith and integrity and confidence and loyalty to our company and our products. Because you really want them to be loyal to the products more than just yourself. Yes, you're guiding them, but you want them to be beach body lovers, not just Mindy and Melissa lovers, but beach body lovers.
So one of the things that we've realized, and I think Mindy did a great job in the beginning, is really teaching the Beachbody story. So many of us miss that, and I think it's a huge piece. Like Mindy said, this didn't start off to be, a company that was going to have this huge success, like it has, and make all these people money, because there wasn't in the vision to have a coaching network. So teach people how to understand how this company has come along. And then also teach the sponsoring conversation. Help your coaches understand how to tie that bridge and become sponsors. Duplicate your onboarding experience. Recognize 500 PV for your team, for yourself, for your tribes. I know that that's something that I can get better at. I used to do a lot of PV recognition. Just last month, we just rolled out the 500 PV winners. And if you're on my team, doesn't matter where you fall, you will get a 500 PV mug. So you're in the 500 PV club. And you only get that once, but you get recognized every single month. If you become a part of that club, you get recognized on the team page, all of that. So that's something that we are doing. You can figure out what works best for your team and create activity or volume-based incentives, boost your business activities, best live training, video contests. So encouraging people to get comfortable with sharing is essentially what that is. You can also do like a team-wide challenge for like the refresh or the ultimate reset, encouraging people to, you know, share the samples. One of the things that I'll be introducing at my Super Saturday is we will be having like vendor booths essentially, and I'll have a few different coaches at each one, and they will be basically somebody will be talking about the different products at each different booth and an opportunity for us to help educate the coaches in our area.
So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. We covered a ton of stuff. I will put this up on the my YouTube channel, so that you can go back and watch it. I can also post pictures of certain slides as a visual. But I want to also say something that I used to send out the new compensation plan highlights, and I stopped doing it. So how many of you know what the compensation plan highlights are? Anybody? Charlie? Nobody does. Okay, real quick. Oh, no, it's 10 o'clock. So I'm going to tell you how to do it. So log into your Coach Online office, go to My Business, My Forms and Documents, and then if you scroll down, literally almost at the very bottom of that, it will be, you can actually print out the whole compensation plan. I don't encourage that necessarily because it's really big, but you can do the compensation plan highlights. It talks about Emerald, it talks about cycle bonuses, it talks about Success Club, it talks about the pay scale. I think it's like 2 or maybe 3 sheets. This is something that you need to print out. There's also another document about the challenge pack FAQ. So if you're a new coach and you don't know what comes in the challenge packs, you don't remember the cost or anything, that's also helpful. But go through and look at the compensation plan highlights, print it off, look at it so you have a visual, and that this is something you're going to lead with your team as well. Because like Joe said, and I thought about it too, he said, imagine inviting all your friends to like be like, hey, let's play board games. Like, let's have a game night, and everybody shows up, and there's this board game, and they take the rules away, and then you're supposed to figure it out how to play the game. Nobody could do that, and so many people get in this business, and they're like, I don't know why they think it's easy, but they don't know the logistics of the business. They feel overwhelmed. This is a really great guide in the beginning of what is available to coaches and how some of these things that as a new coach you're going to hear, and it's going to be language that seems like is being spoke in a foreign tongue. So I want you to look at that as well, because some of the stuff that we were talking about cycle bonuses and stuff will become more relevant and understandable when you look at that. Does anybody have any questions regarding this? I know we threw a lot at you. Just unmute yourself and talk. So.
And just so you guys know, I'm completely revamping my Coach Basics training, or we'll be rolling it out on October 2nd. So if anyone would like to go through that, if you would like to see the model that I'm following so you can create your own, you're welcome to. But if you're on my personally sponsored team or following my downline, everyone on the team, I'm asking that we go through it together. It won't be just for new coaches, because this is a change, especially if you've been with us for a little while. It's relearning things and really adopting something new. So I want to help you the best that I can.
Does this
But I'm offering that to
something that you
anyone.
guys could do? Like, does this seem like something that like is doable? Does it seem less overwhelming as go out and help 3 people with the challenge pack? Okay, Leah's shaking her head. Sam's giving a thumbs up. Shelly's thumb is just already up, so I don't know if she's giving a thumbs up.
Yeah, Mindy, it was funny that when we were talking about the meeting people where they're at, I was talking with my girlfriend earlier, and she keeps kind of getting like flaky and then has the money conversation, and I kept like pushing the challenge pack of like, well, you know, this is what you have to do. And then I took a step back and went, okay, this isn't what she can do right now, you know, and I want to make sure that she's successful, but she's only going to get the success that she puts into it. And so and it's nice that it was a friend of mine, so I was able to really be honest and be like, hey, look, I was being way too pushy, and I just want to make sure that you get the best results. But if that's what you can't do and all you can afford is the 3-month bod, then that's what you can do, you know, and we're still going to do this together. So
When I've learned to look at those situations as like challenge accepted, like we got 3 months, like let's kick your ass in gear. You better be working out and seeing all those, ads on, Beachbody on Demand or DVDs. Some people just bought the thing where there's always talking about Shakeology. But that's like literally like a way for you to be like, all right, you want to play hardball? I'm going to prove to you that you're going to need Shakeology. And when you put those people in a challenge group, guess what? They don't like to be the non-cool kid that's not drinking the Kool-Aid, and they start asking questions. So, and really I look at it too that, a lot of people don't like being told no. They feel they take it personally, but most of the time it's they truly don't have the money or they just don't believe in themselves enough. And it translates into that they go and buy a coach first, that they're at the bar, that they're doing all this other stuff. It's because there's this void that they have in their life that they're getting a quick fix with dumb shit that costs a lot of money, and they just can't see that something like this would actually help them, and they know probably that's going to take a long time, but that's when we really need to kick in instead of abandoning them by helping them believe in themselves, helping them believe that they can do it. Because I know that I tried to bail out on my sale in the beginning, and Becky kept talking to me. She didn't just think like, oh, never mind, I'll just go on to the next one. She believed in me. And that's something that we need to do, is that people already don't believe in themselves. And whenever you go and say like, I want you to join my challenge group, they're like, oh, I don't know, they go off, and then you just stop talking to them and move on to the next person. Then in their mind, they're like, yes, I didn't matter. I was just a number. I will say there is a balance of that. You just don't want to chase people forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. But it's not chasing them by asking them over and over and over again to join your challenge group. It's if you're getting objections, go live and talk about it, not calling them out, but talking about their objection, using that in your post, talking to them in a different language, sharing with them, stories that are going to resonate with them, not you, but with them. And if you don't know what's going to resonate with them, then that means you need to work harder on building a relationship with them to know what it does. I see Charlie shaking his head because I know this is something that he didn't always do, and now he does, and now he's having really great success with it, and he's rocking it because he understands that concept of building deep relationships. So anyways, anything else? Is anybody interested in doing like a team-wide together thing, like an Emerald Army boot camp? I say that because that's what started my coaching career within the first 30 days. And doing the Find Your Why tribe that Christina did has really brought back some old memories of that team feel, and that's something that I really want to recreate. So if it's something that you would do and you want to do, then talk to Melissa and I, because I would love to do something together. But I'm going to be honest, I would just want to work with people who really want to do it. I got really burnt out in groups over the last year of starting groups, and then everybody stops talking to me on day 3. And because I pour my heart and soul in it. So I'm just being 100% honest that I will get burnt fuck out and get really annoyed so I just don't say yes to me just because you think I want to hear that. I just want you to be honest, and I'm honest with you. So anything else? Everybody's really
I think we threw you guys off with the time. It's pretty late, your guys' time. So I appreciate you guys' flexibility. I'm really excited for this. For everyone who listens later, if you guys have any questions, please reach out. Really, really excited for what this is going to do for our team.